Welcome all to another episode of the C64 Roundup, your concise guide to the latest news and releases for your Commodore 64. This month we have a featured title, Cursed Tomb by Zbigniew Ross. Cursed Tomb is an action puzzle game that sees you take control of an archaeological explorer as you navigate your way through ancient graves of unknown origins in order to collect the treasure it contains within. The game is presented with a top-down view that only partially reveals each level's layout on screen at any given time. Controlling a little explorer is pretty straightforward, as you simply push the joystick in the direction you want him to move, but take note that he won't stop moving until he runs into an obstacle. The overall objective of each level is to follow the treasure trail and reach the exit before the timer runs out. Each level has a minimum number of treasure that must be collected before the exit becomes unlocked, so don't think you can take too many shortcuts when trying to complete a level. As you explore each of the 75 different labyrinth levels, you'll find that most of them will contain many different types of hazards for you to contend with. Along the way you'll find travel lifts, springboards and teleport devices that help you navigate around safely. But to survive, you will need to be smart and careful about where you move, even sometimes taking a leap of faith in the direction you take. Despite its relatively simple presentation, I'm quite impressed with how well a little explorer moves around the screen, and at times gets on such a roll that it can be difficult to keep up with. The SID Music soundtrack is suitably atmospheric and enhances the gaming experience. The game also contains an autosave feature. Depending on the difficulty level you choose, your progress is saved every 2 to 4 levels you complete, which makes Cursed Tomb perfect for multiple gaming sessions of any length. Cursed Tomb is both PAL and NTSC compatible and can be purchased both in digital and physical forms directly from Protovision. Things have been slow in the pixel art department over the past month, so let's check out some of my favourite graphic pieces from 2018. Time to take a look at what games have been released over the past month or so. New Stand is an interesting little arcade adventure platform game in which you take control of Joseph as he goes around collecting money in order to buy a C64 game cassette tapes from his local newsstand. But just like in real life, there are many out there who look down at our beloved hobby and will take pleasure in preventing us from playing the latest title for our favourite little 8-bit machine. So as we go from one screen to another, we'll have to jump, dodge and climb our way along the environment, collecting lira along the way with the objective to get to the newsstand with 1000 lira on hand. There are light puzzle elements within the game, as at times you will need to carry out specific actions in order to get around a hazard or reveal money. The game is a little on the hard side when it comes to difficulty, as some areas require some precision timing movement and the jumping mechanism doesn't quite feel as responsive as it should be. I'm a fan of the graphical presentation within the game. The graphics on offer are not groundbreaking, but they fit perfectly within the context of the game, and there's plenty of variation across its 5 game levels. And talking about variation, I really like how the story narrative leads to Joseph needing to control a drone in order to escape the situation he finds himself in on level 4. Despite being a little rough around the edges, I think Newsstand has plenty to offer to those who enjoyed arcade adventure style games. The game is available for free as a digital download, but note that it's currently only PAL compatible. Following on from the original vertical scrolling high score chaser Snake vs Bomb, the new Dimension has released Snake vs Bomb 2. This time around, you guide your snake across a horizontal scrolling road across a canyon, gobbling up fruit while avoiding coming into contact with bombs. Controls are simple, just move your snake up or down as you pile on the points. The pace starts off slow and increases each time you reach the next level. Snake vs Bomb 2 contains 8 levels in total and is PAL and NTSC compatible. The game is available as a free digital download from itch.io. 8 Midas is a game inspired by an old arcade classic, Amida. You control a character that has to move around a predefined pathway in order to paint all the paths to fill in the boxes while avoiding chasing enemies. The rotating fan-type characters are killers and need to be avoided at all costs. The flashing square enemies are erasers. Not only do they erase the path you have painted, but if you come in contact with them, then they send you back to the home position on screen. There are a number of different pickups for you to collect. They will have different results, such as bonus points, decreasing enemy speed, and freezing enemies temporarily, to name a few. Activate all the rectangles on screen, and you're taken to a bonus level that provides a Flappy Bird style of game where you try to get as far as you can without running into objects. Eight Midas does get quite challenging very quickly, and I found it difficult to get past the second level, but my motivation to do so was somewhat limited as the process of painting around all the rectangles felt much longer than it needed to be. Apparently 8 Midas does offer quite a bit of gaming, including 8 bosses across 40 levels. This might be the game for you. If so, it's available as a free digital download. Kick of the Spear is an arcade-style fighting combat game for 1 and 2 players. It features large high-resolution sprites, 6 individual characters and a tournament mode. Only a limited number of attacking moves are on offer: low kick, standing kick, flying kick and a punch. You also receive 1 special power move to use per match. Kick of the Spear is an ambitious attempt to provide a full character-sized fighting experience, but falls short in being able to deliver in any engaging manner. The action on offer is of a good pace, and the large-sized characters move well, but the overall experience just lacks depth and personality. The play area feels cramped and would benefit from a larger, scrolling fighting area. There doesn't seem to be much difference in the way each combatant fights, and it doesn't feel like much strategy is required to win a match. Just constantly use the flying kick is enough to beat all opponents. Kick of the Spear is a commercial digital download that is compatible with PAL and NTSC. Sarah Jane Avery is back with another high-quality C64 game title with the release of the sequel to Zeta-Wing. Zeta-Wing 2 is a vertically scrolling arcade shooter that upon first impressions looks, feels and sounds quite similar to the original game. Collecting stars will power up your weapons, shooting letter icons results in bonus points, and when you lose a life, your weapon degrades by only 1 level when you respawn. A game dynamic that I certainly appreciate. From a technical standpoint, Zeta-Wing 2 is as impressive as the first title. But as I played through the earlier levels, I was concerned that Zeta-Wing 2 was not going to offer anything new other than the addition of a smart bomb. And while this would still make the game fun in its own right, I couldn't help but be a little disappointed at what felt like a repetitious experience, especially since the early background graphics looked like they had taken straight from the first Zelda Wing with a little bit of Briley Chronicles sprinkled in. But as I get into the fourth stage, then the game not only starts to look different, but the attack wave patterns start to change up a lot more, throwing out a stronger challenge. And it is by this time where I've been able to advance my weapon power quite a bit, and start feeling quite impressed with the amount of firepower coming from my spacecraft. It's not quite Japanese arcade bullet hell, but it did feel impressive, and generally enhanced my playing experience. And the sense of gameplay progression of the sequel didn't end there. I was able to pick up upon the increased sophistication of the enemy attack waves throughout the later levels, and I felt that Zelda Wing's boss battles were overall more enjoyable to go up against. Other than the recycled SID soundtrack that at times made me think I was playing Briley Witch Chronicles, everything in Zelda Wing 2 is just incrementally better than the original. I was having such a fun time with the game that it felt like the game's 7 levels went by too quickly. While the game is relatively short to some other commercial grade shooters, it will provide over 30 minutes of fun blasting action from end to end, but it's going to take you much longer than that to master the hordes of enemy attack waves on offer. Zelda Wing 2 is both PAL and NTSC compatible and is available as a digital commercial release from itch.io. And that is a wrap on another C64 roundup. This one was a little shorter compared to other episodes, but still, I think it contains some interesting releases that are well worth trying out. Until next time, bye for now.